What's good, YouTube? Mr. Rich Reaper back with another reaction, man. Hey, man, today's video, as you can see by the title of the thumbnail, we're gonna be reacting to some new Avengers news, man. Some new MCU news, bruh. Apparently, Chris Evans just got cast for Avengers Doomsday, so we finna see what they talk about in this movie. In this video, and yeah, bro, Chris Evans to the back to the MCU again. I knew he wasn't gonna be gone forever. He was already in Deadpool. My bad if you ain't seen it, but it's been out for a minute. And then he finna be in Doomsday, bruh. So I'm excited to see what role he gonna play. Is he gonna play Captain America? Is he gonna play Johnny Storm? Is he gonna play Old Cap? Is he gonna play Captain Hydra? I don't know yet, bruh. Feel me? So let's see what this video is talking about, man. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for all the new videos, and let me know what else you want me to react to, man. Let's get straight into it.
Well, it has begun. Old Marvel legacy actors are now returning and are being confirmed to return
Yes,
to
sir.
the MCU. We
Yes,
knew this
sir.
was going to happen because we are in the multiverse saga.
Yes,
We've already
sir.
seen some really cool variants in the MCU, especially in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where we kind of saw what could be in a different universe when we saw Captain Carter. In her universe, she went on to take the serum instead of Steve Rogers. We've seen a variant of Mr. Fantastic before we get our actual Mr. Fantastic. And we've already seen Chris Evans return not as Captain America, but as the Human Torch. And now it looks like he is solidified and locked in his return, possibly as Captain America. We're unsure. We'll talk about that in this video, but it does seem to be confirmed that he is returning for Avengers Doomsday. Not Avengers Secret Wars, although I'm sure he'll make his return there as well,
100%.
unless his character somehow gets killed.
I ain't gonna lie. See, if he don't play Captain America in Doomsday, he playing that shit for sure in Secret Wars. I think he gonna be old Cap in Secret Wars. He fuck around and be old Cap, young Cap. He probably played shit. There's no telling how many roles he gonna play in Secret Wars. Same with RDJ. Like I know, bro, oh my god. My thing is, if you not tapped in with Marvel, bro, like if you a part of that side who been falling off of Marvel, saying the last few movies, the last few shows they've been dropping is weak, which it's not. Your Cap for sure. But if you are one of those type of people, bro, when Secret Wars and Doomsday come out, Spider-Man 2 and Doctor Strange, bro, make sure you tap in, bro. If you ain't hear from nobody else, just you heard it here first, bro. Let me be the first to tell you that shit is gonna be so peak, bro. I'm not gonna fake it.
In Doomsday, in which he could still return in Secret Wars, but this is specifically talking about Doomsday. Chris Evans makes his way back to the MCU once again, and this is being reported by The Wrap. And I'll read you the article. Coming from TheWrap.com, the article headline is Chris Evans sets Marvel return in Avengers Doomsday, and this is an exclusive by the website. The subheadline states the actor most recently appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine as his Fantastic Four character, Johnny Storm. As we all know, and that was incredibly epic, and it's epic
100%.
that he's returning. The article reads, Chris Evans is returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as part of the cast for Avengers Doomsday, the highly anticipated sequel that will also star Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. The Wrap has learned exclusively.
So tough.
Evans will be involved in some capacity, but the extent and exact nature of his role is unknown. After sunsetting his Steve Rogers character in 2019's Avengers Endgame, Evans recently made a brief MCU return in this summer's Deadpool and Wolverine, but as his character Johnny Storm from the Fox's
Which
Fantastic
means he was only
Four
gone for like
movies,
3
not
years.
as Captain America. And that is literally the end of the article. So not much is...
And it doesn't even really feel like he was gone. Like, I mean, Captain America, as far as the MCU so far, is gone as a character. But it's like, it don't even feel like he was gone. Because really, we didn't really see, like, out of the recent stuff that dropped, like, what show could he have, like, been in besides Wolverine? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, he could have been in Multiverse of Madness, maybe, if you want to give him a role in the Illuminati. But it's like, I didn't like. He couldn't have been in Loki for real. He couldn't have been in WandaVision. Like all that shit, like that dropped. He didn't really need to be in. So it's like it didn't even really feel like he was gone. Same with Tony Stark. Like I mean, he could have been in Spider Man, but it's just like I mean, he really still was. Like it's like he. I don't know, bro.
Is really known about his return, but we know what our options are for his return, and I'm going to go ahead and state maybe not the most obvious, but I think some fans really would love this out there. I've seen some people talk about it online. I think a lot of people would love to see an evil variant of Captain America show up in the MCU, specifically as Captain Hydra, because it would be so different than anything we've really seen. Although we did just see Chris Evans really mouth off as Johnny Storm. That was quite the scene in Deadpool and Wolverine and was really not anything like Captain America. However, he wasn't evil. This is kind of like a lot of people really wanting to see superior Iron Man show up in the MCU, whether that's Tom Cruise or Robert Downey Jr. It would just simply be cool to see a character that we know so differently, and that's what a lot of people think would be really cool about seeing Chris Evans return as Captain Hydra. And here's the deal, the story of Captain Hydra in Marvel Comics actually fits in very well with the multiverse saga. You see, Captain Hydra is Steve Rogers from an alternate timeline in Marvel Comics. In this timeline, he serves Hydra, and when his reality is about to change, Rogers actually gets shielded from this effect, from this change, from this reality warp, and it allows him to go to the main Earth 616 normal without any change. So he's still this Hydra serving Steve Rogers. However, in this new universe, the Earth 616,
I ain't gonna lie, this is tough. It's like a red suit, a Hydra suit, and a red shield with the Hydra logo. That shit is fire. Niggas not ready for that, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. That's tough.
Timeline,
that's fire.
He pretends to be Captain America. He poses as him, but secretly, of course, he is an undercover Hydra agent. He ends up working within S.H.I.E.L.D. and ultimately he ends up with Hydra, of course, taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. and the United States of America. He becomes the supreme leader of Hydra until they decide to use the Cosmic Cube to rewrite reality, which brings back the original Steve Rogers. Captain Hydra Steve Rogers would ultimately go on to be arrested and would die. This would be really cool to see because it wouldn't be Chris Evans as a different character like Johnny Storm. It would be him as Steve Rogers, but it would be evil. It would be a completely different take. And we've heard that Doom is going to have a team. Maybe Captain Hydra is a part of his team. I've heard a lot of fans say they would love to see Captain Hydra, but I think a lot of fans would also love to see him return as Captain America. This would obviously have to be a variant. I think it would be kind of a waste to have him return as old man Steve Rogers. It would be cool to see him show up and maybe talk to Sam for a bit, but I think that would be a lot of wasted potential there. Especially since Chris Evans is obviously very willing to come back for significant roles. His role is
because that's my thing. Like I said, bro. Like I think he'll play old Cap for sure. Like a what's the word for it? Like a super serum advanced like Cap, but it's just like he'll play it in Secret Wars. I don't think it'll be Doomsday. Doomsday, he's definitely gonna either come back as Captain America or Captain Hydra. You feel me? So it's just like, but like I said, Secret Wars, the possibilities are endless. Like he could play Johnny Storm, Captain America, Captain Hydra, and old Cap if he really wanted to, or if they really wanted him to. You feel me? It's just like I don't think they would put him in Doomsday and just have him play old Cap, especially to give him a miniature role. Because like I said, he damn near had a decent amount of screen time in Deadpool, and like I said, even that had him pay a lot. So if they gonna keep paying him how they usually gonna pay him, he gonna play a big role, bro. Trust me, bro.
Johnny Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty significant. Granted, it was still kind of short. But if he is going to...
That's literally what I just said, bro. Crazy.
Return as an actual good Captain America, Steve Rogers, it would be cool to see him back in action once again. And I mean, at this point...
Let me know, though. Would y'all rather see him in, like, the same role, or would y'all want to see him in a different role? Because it's like, it's cool for him to play Cap again, but it's just like, it's going to be a variant regardless. So it's like, feel what I'm saying? It's Cap, but it's not Cap at the same time. But then again, it's like, that's why, because it's like, for the people that like Loki, it's like, it feel like we watching the Loki that we didn't see, but it's really not the same Loki. It's a variant of the Loki. Like, you feel me? So it's just like, it just will have to all depends. Like I said, you know me, I'm cool with whatever. Like, whatever they decide to do, I know they're going to do it good. So regardless, I'm chilling. But it's just like, what would y'all want to see? Y'all want to see him come as Captain America, Evil Cap, Like, what y'all want to see, bro? Let me know.
In time, we have Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom. Imagine a variant of
Fire.
Steve Rogers, Captain America, going up against who we know to be Iron Man. Except it's not. It's Doctor Doom. And since he's appearing in Avengers Doomsday, perhaps this Captain America could even be from the universe that Doctor Doom is in. I think that actually
these
would
niggas
be
are in the
pretty
same
cool.
movie
You could
again.
do
That's
something
crazy,
really cool with
bro.
the story there. Especially if they are
Thought
going
we
to
was never
somewhat
gonna see that
address
shit
the
again.
fact that, you know, it's Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom.
New
He
mask,
looks
same
just
task.
like Iron Man did, just like Tony Stark. There's some things that they could do there. But another option, which I think is probably the coolest option that they could probably possibly do, and that is he returns not just as Steve Rogers, but he also returns as the Human Torch as well. We get him.
Chat, bro. What did I say? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, gang. I know my shit. I know my shit. When it come to series, when it come to anime, when it come to cartoons, y'all seen me do the Avatar reactions. I know my shit, nigga. I'm tapped in with the shit, bro. I'm telling you, he not, bro. They wouldn't just bring him back, especially in the multiverse saga. They would not just bring, bro. Marvel is the smartest cinematic universe in the world. Fuck DC. I don't get no fuck like anything else. Game like none of that shit. Marvel does it the best, 100%. So it's just like, gang. This is the second time he coming back after said he was done. They not finna just let him play no miniature role, bro. He finna go all out, bro. Especially, bro, he's in Doomsday. So it's just like, if he in Doomsday, like, cause okay, Secret Wars is one thing. That shit not coming out to like 2027. But he's in Doomsday. So it's like, that's after 2026, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, oh my god, like, I'm not even ready for that trailer, bro. Like, they in this, bro. It's like you really gotta peep it though. They in the same movie. It's like Iron Man playing Doomsday. I mean, playing Doctor Doom. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. Chris Evans coming back. He not just finna play Cap or just a miniature role. Like, come on, bro.
And playing two different characters at the same time. This would essentially be like a Deadpool and Wolverine cameo times 2. Except I feel like if they did this, it would be a lot more significant. But one thing that Chris Evans returning in Avengers Doomsday tells us is that this movie is set to be incredibly huge, and we are clearly going to get some big multiversal aspects in this movie. I think a lot of people might be thinking that a lot of the multiversal aspects might be coming after Doomsday. Doomsday ends with a big multiversal destruction, and that's where we get a lot of the multiverse stuff happening in between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
And gang, no, that's why I'm saying, like, bro, okay, because like I said, like I told y'all before, Secret Wars is gonna be the biggest movie of that year, bro. 100%, no doubt in my mind. But it's just like Doomsday is gonna be just as big, like not just as big, a little bit less big, but it's just like, bro, because that's my thing. If I'm being real, I don't know how they gonna fit everything they trying to do into Secret Wars alone. Like that movie gonna have to be like 5 hours, bro. Like, cause if y'all read the comics, bro, y'all would know. Like, Secret Wars is a big. Like, it's not something small. Like, they can't just do it in 2 hours like they did Endgame. It's like you gotta think about it. When you think about it like this, right? Some of the biggest shit you've seen. Think back to 2008, 2009, and 2012, right? You've seen Iron Man with a movie. You've seen Cap with his own movie. Then you've seen Thor with his own movie. You put them all together, there's Avengers 2012, right? And that shit was big at the time. Huge, right? Next, you skip to Civil War 2016. You seen Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, who all had their own movies already. And then you bringing in characters like Vision from 2015, Age of Ultron. T'Challa, we never seen him before. Spider-Man, we never seen him before. Who else? Ant-Man, we haven't seen him before. He had his own movie. You feel me? And that was also big, huge movie. 2 hours long. That was crazy. You feel me? And then, even bigger than that, we seen Infinity War. And now that's bringing everybody in. The Guardians. Who else? Thanos. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like, it goes up a scale every single time. So it's like you really got to think about it. This not just a Thor movie. This is not just Iron Man movie. This is not just Captain America. This is an Avengers movie again. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like it's gonna be on a huge scale, bro. It's like now we're bringing in everybody, let alone it's not just people from the same universe. It's people from a different universe. It's the multiversal saga, gang. That shit gonna be so big, bro. No Diddy, like niggas is not ready, bro. I'm telling you, niggas is not ready. Like I don't even know how they gonna do it, bro. Real shit.
And then, especially in Secret Wars, we're going to get all of these characters from a bunch of different universes fighting together, which
Literally.
is going to happen, but it sounds like it's going to happen in Avengers Doomsday as well, which isn't that surprising considering Deadline reported that there's going to be over 60 characters appearing in Avengers Doomsday. Well, we already do have a lot of teams and a lot of characters in the current main 616 timeline, but now it sounds like some variants are joining them as well. But of course, there is always the option that Chris Evans is simply going to play a different character entirely, like Robert Downey Jr. As far as we know, as far as what they've told us, Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom is not a Tony Stark variant. He is going to simply be Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom. Now, I take that at about 50% because, of course, they could just be lying. But they could also be telling the truth, and either way, it doesn't negate the fact that Chris Evans could be playing a different character entirely. He could be playing Iron Man. He could play another Doom variant. How crazy would that be if we had
Bro, if we oh my god, nigga. If we have Chris Evans and Tony Stark both play Doom, what? What? Chill out, bruh. Two Doctor Dooms and two faces we already seen. Like, that's what I'm saying, gang. Don't nobody do it like Marvel, bro.
Robert Downey Jr. returned to play Doom, and Chris Evans returns to play a variant of Dr. Doom as well. I mean, the cool thing is we're smack dab in the middle of the multiverse saga now, especially by the time we get to Avengers Doomsday. Literally. So really, what we're starting to see here is that the possibilities for anything to happen in the MCU during the saga are limitless. They're only really limited to the creativity that Marvel Studios and the creators of Avengers Doomsday and the story overall have. But since Chris Evans is now returning, it's confirmed, it seems like they are getting pretty dang creative. And I can't wait to see what their actual plans are. But in the meantime, let me know, what option would you prefer? Him return as a variant of Steve Rogers as Captain America in the fight? Him as an evil Steve Rogers, Captain Hydra? Him as Johnny Storm? Or somebody else entirely? Or do you have ideas of your own? Let me know all of your thoughts.
I ain't gonna lie, I seen another video that I'm gonna react to too.
Thoughts and feelings in the comments.
Let me pull that shit up.
Getting 8 out.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. Like, hold on, cuz. Oh shit, hold on. Look. Avengers Doomsday and Multiverse Plot League. Watch. Alright, let's react to this too. Of course. Facts. Bro, and it's like I'm just now thinking about it because it's like it just came to my mind, but like we were really supposed to get Kang Dynasty. Like Jonathan Majors was literally supposed to be in that. It was supposed to be his movie, not Doomsday. And it's just like it just crossed my mind because I really just like I said I just reacted to the news with Captain America and stuff. But it's just like dang, bro, the nigga got cheated, bro. That shit's sad. Cause like Kang Dynasty would have been good. I know it would have, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then to have that information come out that he wasn't even guilty, and the case got dropped, it's just sad, bro. It's really sad, bro. Cause we could have had such a good movie. We could have, like, you know what I'm saying. He could have been in some of these movies, and it's just like it just didn't happen, bro. It just didn't happen, bro. It's just sad.
some insiders, it does have everything that it needs to set up Avengers Secret Wars in a really huge way. And if the movies right before Avengers Doomsday are fantastic, then Avengers Doomsday has a chance as well to be one of the biggest Marvel movies ever. Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom alone is going to bring people to the theaters, but what is the story going to be about? How good is it going to be? And will it be good enough to drive millions and possibly billions in dollars for the movie? Well, if the information that we're going to go over today is accurate, then yes. Yes, it'll be incredibly exciting. Definitely enough to bring everybody to the theaters. So
100%.
Let's dive on in first, talking about the characters that are going to get most of the focus from these movies. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of characters in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Deadline has stated possibly over 60 main characters are going to appear in the film, but with so many characters, of course, there are going to be leads. According to Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus, Doctor Strange is 60% the reason that there's a Secret Wars happening. And that makes sense considering where we left off with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Clea showed up in the post-credit scene and told Doctor Strange he had caused an incursion. And with all his multiverse hopping, yeah, of course he did. Well, him and the Scarlet Witch, because she's the one that really wreaked havoc in the 838 universe, and they could even say that some stuff happened off screen that we didn't see in the movie. Now, we haven't heard much about Doctor Strange 3. It is one of the projects that we knew Marvel Studios was going to do. We simply don't know when they're going to do it. If it's before Doomsday or after. Before would make sense, and we do know that there is kind of a secret Marvel project that is about to start filming that could be Doctor Strange 3, and I hope it is, because we need this.
Because that's my thing. It's like, especially with the timeline, like, okay, if you wanted me to just base off my Marvel knowledge, Doomsday is probably coming out middle 2026 to late 2026, and Secret Wars is probably the same, late 2027. Early 2020, middle 2027. No way they come out at the early starts. Because like I said, it's already going to be 2025. They're going to need at least 6 to 7 months to film. Plus post-production. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's going to be a while. We're going to be waiting for the movies. Niggas is going to be having no telling what's going on in life by the time these movies come out. You feel what I'm saying? So, it's just like, it's gonna be a while, bro.
To help build the hype for Avengers Doomsday.
So it should come out
Thunderbolts, Captain America, Brave New World. The Fantastic Four is going to be a big one, and Doctor Strange 3 could be huge. But also the characters returning for Avengers Doomsday are really going to drive in people, because remember, Alex Perez stated that Doctor Strange is 60% of the reason that we're getting incursions. He continued to state, as for the other 40%, Spider-Man, Loki, Doctor Doom, and the Scarlet Witch are the causes for the other ones and are going to be the main focus. I'm not sure if Loki would actually be the cause for some of them, maybe if he leaves his throne, in which I can't really imagine that he actually can leave his throne, but obviously he is controlling a big chunk of universes right now, so anything he does might put any of them in jeopardy, so perhaps he has caused maybe 1 or 2, but I'm more along the lines of believing that he's just going to be one of the focuses, in which obviously, of course, he has to be, based off of the ending of Loki season 2, he has to be involved in this in a pretty big way. As far as Spider-Man is concerned, this isn't actually the first time that we've heard he's going to be kind of a big part of why we are getting incursions. And again, based off of what we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, yeah, one could easily see 100%. How the events from that movie really started to mess things up, not to mention the other 2 Spider-Men going back to their own universes and the villains kind of being healed going back to their own universes. These changes clearly would change the course of direction that these universes were on, and that could cause incursions to happen in the other universes where the villains and the other Spider-Men were from, and that could bring them back into the game, because according to Alex Perez again, when it came down to seeing the other Spider-Men again talking about that, referring to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he stated, talking about the end of their stories in the MCU, he said, end in the next 3 years. You're not getting solo films from them. So basically what this is telling us is that they're going to show up in Avengers Doomsday and or Avengers Secret Wars, which of course they totally should. It would be a pretty big missed opportunity if they didn't. Don't get me wrong, they shouldn't overplay this. Like, they probably shouldn't bring them back for the whole movie of Spider-Man 4. If they do bring them back in that movie, it should be at the very end, because we don't want to overplay it, but they definitely need to be involved in Doomsday and Secret Wars. We need 2 really big multiversal movies, and having having these old legacy actors back really helps. But now let's dive into what he said about Doctor Doom. And it's a very interesting statement, and coming from somebody who's read a lot of stories involving Doom in the comics, I'm not sure if I'm happy or sad. He stated, "The biggest advice I can give everyone right now heading into these films is to pretty much erase everything you know about Doctor Doom moving forward." Yes, Doom is a massive villain in the comics and in media, but they're going to give him the Thanos treatment. This would worry me if it weren't for the Russo brothers and the fact that Alex said that Marvel's going to give him the Thanos treatment. They did right by Thanos. He was awesome. It was right in two different parts. The Russo brothers did right by him, but they also gave him a lot of time in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And they told his whole backstory, very summarized and brief, but they told it. He got the attention that he deserved, and no doubt the Russo brothers are going to do that with Doctor Doom, especially because it's Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. They're going to want him on screen as much as possible, I'd imagine. But he also says he'll be presented as the antagonist to the Avengers, sure, but the way they do it is going to make it seem as though Doom has a point in what he's doing. So much so that it'll make you question whether Doom is the villain or if he's actually the hero. Now, I would say this kind of goes against forgetting everything you know about Doom, because in Avengers Secret Wars leading up to it, the whole time runs out arc is kind of like that in the comics. Doom is actually trying to save the multiverse, and most people would be on his side until the end, in which even in the end, Doctor Strange is actually still on his side. He tries to save the multiverse until ultimately he decides he can't, so he's going to let everything get destroyed, the entire multiverse, so he can manage to save one thing, and that one thing ends up being Battleworld, a culmination of a bunch of different remnants of a bunch of different universes. That might be the part where we go off a little bit differently in the MCU than it did in the comics. But I do like the fact of Doom kind of being viewed as somebody who's trying to do the right thing, and that is what we see in Avengers Doomsday. But at the end of Doomsday, it's revealed that he makes himself a god, and perhaps he never really actually cared about the entirety of the multiverse, but he was really just trying to save what he could so he could rule over it himself. Because I do like when villains believe that they are trying to do good, but I also like when they're just bad, because that's kind of who they are. And Doom is an incredibly complex villain, so I hope we see a whole bunch of different sides of him. Because in the comics, he does believe that his world is the best thing for everybody. Nothing was going to survive, so he managed to save something and some people. It wasn't a multiverse, but in his eyes, the two options were everything dies or everything dies but one planet that I rule over. And that's where we get God Emperor Doom, ruler over Battleworld. So if we get a movie for Doomsday where the three Spider-Men are back together, Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU as the main villain and one of the most famous villains ever, Doctor Doom, then we get Loki's story continuation, which a lot of people, really mainly everybody, loved Loki, and we get the Scarlet Witch back as well. That's a pretty big movie. Throw in Chris Evans returning and them possibly getting Scarlett Johansson to return. We've heard rumors that Thanos is going to make a return as well, and put the new Fantastic Four team in there, and possibly some X-Men from the old Fox franchise. Deadpool and Wolverine return. It does have the potential to be an insanely huge movie. And if this movie goes incredibly well, Secret Wars will have the potential to beat Avengers Endgame and possibly be the #1 biggest movie of all time. Let's hope that Marvel Studios does everything right before we get to these movies, and in these movies, and also in between, because there are some movies in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, but does everything right to set up the MCU and these movies to be just absolutely fantastic and the best of the best. But in the 100%. Meantime, let me know what you think about these plot details for, well, really the over.
Told you, bro. Basically, moral of the story, to sum up both of these videos that I react to, if you're not ready for those two movies, bro, get ready, because they gonna be big, bro. But let me know what else you want to react to in the comments down below. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Be smooth.